Hello there everyone, and welcome back to my next episode on the Welsknight Patreon server. This is Mar, and I thought we'd have a bit of a change of pace from our normal episodes that we've been doing recently in our base. Now that as you can see behind me, now that the gateways, the end gateways, have all been spawned in, I think that makes it an excellent time to resume work on the end hub. Now I was joined with Monroe and Evil and Bob, Bob's over there. Well, where'd he go? He was there a moment ago. There he is. Just out of render distance, I guess. He's over there terraforming. But the four of us today got together earlier in the afternoon and started work, or resumed work, on the end hub here. Now, when the last time I worked on this was probably, I don't know, like December or November or something like that. And we had to stop because on the server, when we have a large community project like this, we have to have a clear plan of what steps we're going to go through, what the end result would be like, or as best as we could, and then to try and stick to that plan as much as possible. So I came up with the plan, pitched it to the mods, they approved, and we started working on it. But part of the plan was to get these portals, the gateways, automatically spawned in, because in the server we have two end dimensions. One of them is for building, like this, and one of them is for, end raiding, killing the dragon, that sort of thing. In fact, if you try to spawn the dragon in here, I believe we have a plugin that will prevent that from happening. That's what the mods told me, and I didn't want to try, so I'll take their word for it. So this is also, as it so happens, the dimension that has the Ender, which I built, like week 1? It's not necessarily the best to look at from the outside, but it looks really good from the inside. And we built that a long time ago, months and months and months ago. But it's the same end dimension. The downside is we weren't able to get the gateways spawned in automatically, because normally in vanilla they only spawn one at a time when a dragon is killed, and if we can't kill a dragon, well, that makes it a little difficult. And even if we could kill the dragon, I mean, you don't start with any of these. That's 20 dragon kills right there. So, had to wait for the end gateways, and then, it's after the holidays, and everybody's busy, and some people are going back to school and everything after the long winter break. So, we were finally able to get the gateways spawned in, like 2 or 3 weeks ago. I think I mentioned that in one of my recent episodes. And so here we are. Now, where I last left this, the grass was in place. We've got, I mean, it's sitting right on top of the top layer of end stone. But we've got the grass in place. You can see we didn't do the sides. You still can see the end stone right there and everything. We had the shape of this lake or lagoon or whatever you want to call it. We had the shape in place, as well as the rivers, but the water hadn't actually been filled in. And that's pretty much it. Oh, and I had the bridge here. I had the bridge and a little bit of the mound. And if I come over here, we had a little bit of the path right here. And that was pretty much all there was to see. So today, we got together and decided, hey, let's keep working on this. Monroe's been working on that. That's the basic general design of the staircases that will lead up to pretty much each of the end gateways. Let's take a look over here. So we've got 20 gateways. There were 10 pillars. So I decided to come up with 5 different color combinations, and each color combination would essentially be on 2 of the well, previously they were the end pillars, the obsidian pillars, and 4 of the gateways. And they would kind of alternate. So we'd have here, we've got the purple glass blocks and the blue glass panes. This one here will be pink glass blocks and, what is that, magenta? Magenta glass panes. Next one is right over here. We've got, looks like, red blocks and orange panes, and it basically keeps on going around. trying not to put any two similar sets of colors next to each other. Like, I would have preferred probably to have the pink and magenta a little further away from the blue and purple. But it's okay. So long as the two that are, the same exact shades aren't next to each other, that's the real important one. Real important part, I should say. So this is coming along quite nicely. Everybody had to split to take a break. Like, I went and had some soup, and I think someone had to go to bed, and other people were starting to get hungry and everything. So the staircase here isn't finished. It does go all the way up though, so come all the way up, and then you can just, chuck your ender pearl through. The idea is that people can go through whichever one of these that they want. I doubt anybody would really want to go super far out into the void. But if they wanted to go and build like a base or something in the void, then they could just hop through one of these and go do that pretty much. So down the center, if I come back down here, there will probably right here actually be an access to a water elevator so that you can get in, because some of these are kind of tall up, well, I guess they're all kind of, the gateways are like at the same elevation, but the ground isn't. So some of these could have taller staircases than others. So the idea is that if you're down there and you want a quick way up, you just pop in the water and you shoot to the top, bump your head on the obsidian or bedrock, pop out, and then keep going. And if you're already up here, hopefully you have elytra and you can just jump and fly down. Now, the water is not completely finished. Right here, we're going to have a waterfall that we're still working on. You can see the cobble in there. It's trying to make it like a rapids waterfall. And it'll go down there, and it'll fill up this area, which is going to go even further around. And then there's like this huge waterfall over there, and a very deep valley. And then the water will eventually flow into the void. We have two other exits for the water. There's one here, and then one kind of in that direction. And they'll both do the same thing. They won't necessarily go down a waterfall, but they will ultimately go to the void. So if we run over here, and we do have the speed buff, of these 10 where the obsidian pillars were, we've got beacons underneath, as you can see, and 6 of the beacons are tier 4, which allow us to have the beacon effects. The downside is that, beacons only go out about a radius of 50-ish, so you don't get all 6 beacons all the time. You kind of get them, what in the world? Bob must be making them mad. Are you okay, Bob? Please be okay. The idea is that in the middle you'll have all 6 beacon effects, but if you come out here to the edges, you'll start losing some of them gradually. Now let's see, where was that? Here it is. So the water comes along here, and then it'll go right there, and we've got iron bars to keep things from flowing out, because we'd like to put some fish in here eventually. And maybe a dolphin, but if we do dolphins, we have to make sure that they can't jump the gate, basically. Hopefully they wouldn't jump on the land and suffocate either, because I imagine the hassle of getting them here may make that not worthwhile. The fish, not so much. We can just bucket them and then dump them in here. They're spawning as fast as I can kill them. Well, I mean, yeah, you're not wrong. They are spawning in pretty decently. A lot of this terraforming means putting up, the stone and the dirt, and then trying to cover it as fast as you can with torches, but these guys, they're finding ways to spawn in and then teleport all over the place. And I actually found, I was over here getting ready to start recording, and I could hear them, and I was like, I don't see any of them. Where are they? And I've had problems at times on various servers with like invisible mobs. It's really weird, where other people could see them, but I couldn't, and I've died to them like at least 2 or 3 times, I would say. So I was like, am I standing right here and I just can't see them? Because I feel like they're standing like right next to me. And I was like, hey Bob, do you see anybody over here? And he has his camera account, and Eye in the Pie is Bob's camera account. And he's like, oh, they're down there with the beacon. So I had to bust down there and sort the situation out, put down some torches to prevent further spawns. But yeah, this is the end project, and I'm really kind of excited to be working on it again. I spent the last, I don't know, it probably took me 2 hours putting these glass panes all the way up until the end crystal. And these are varying heights too, so some of them took more glass than others. And I have over here these 5 chests. These are the color patterns we're going with. Now the idea here, the theme, I guess, is sort of a jungle, a magical jungle oasis. The oasis is sort of because it's the end island, it's the center island in the void. You have to go, what, 1,000 blocks, isn't it, in any direction before you start hitting other islands. So my idea was to have it like I really liked the jungle theme, I guess. I'm not usually a wild fan of jungle wood in general, but I thought a magical jungle oasis would be kind of cool. And the magical element is so that we can use colored glass like everywhere. And I mean, how often do you see these colors of glass just in one place, you know? So hang on, I'm going to use my tablet here. I want to get the correct definition of this. No, I don't want that. Apparently there's a band with the same name. So Oasis. In geography, an oasis is the combination of a human settlement and a cultivated area, such as, like, and Wiki literally says such as a date palm grove, in a desert or a semi-desert environment. Oases also provide habitat for animals and spontaneous plants. I don't know what they mean by spontaneous plants, but the concept is it is like a watering hole, a fertile, semi-fertile anyway, area that is in the middle of a very unfertile area, which would be the desert in real world concepts. In the end, it is a fertile, just like, I don't know, like lost city almost, only it's not going to be a city, but a lost relic, I guess, in the middle of a huge void, out there in the end. So it is like, the diamond in the rough, I guess, is what I'm going for. So yeah, that's basically the idea. That's what an oasis is, and that's kind of what we're going for here. So we're going to have paths everywhere you see a stone block. And over here I did some in end stone as well, like right there. That's actually remnant from months ago. The stone is new for today. We went out and put up some basic pillars and whatnot, just marking out paths to each of the gateways. And we're going to have paths running through there and staircases, or in some cases, like over here, we're going to have some terraforming to actually lead up to them. Kind of like what I did, where am I? Right here. Losing orientation in here. It's weird when, I mean, this is the only time I've ever seen an end island that didn't look like an end island. But like right here I terraformed up to this bridge. Now I know this is where one of the obsidian pillars were, but think of it as, I mean, consider that it could be an end gateway, but I terraformed up kind of, and it like, I mean, it's right above our heads pretty much. So in some places we may have hills, or I don't know, maybe even structures, I don't know, that lead up to kind of meet the gateways, which will be pretty handy because over here, like half a dozen of these ones are sitting right in the air above a pretty steep drop. So if we come here, like, look at that. That would be one really long staircase, and first you'd have to go down there to get up. And since down here we're going to have a river/lake, like it's going to come down a water, well actually the waterfall's way over there, it's going to come along here, and then have a somewhat gentler waterfall, like in this area. It's going to go down a little bit, and then have more abrupt one right there. Water also is already pouring, actually, from over here. I did this part earlier. It's not necessarily the best looking waterfall, but whatever. Hey, it's my first time doing this sort of thing. And we've just got, like, just markings of roughly where we want things to go and whatnot. Now over here, where this pillar and that pillar are, there's going to be a bridge, which is kind of convenient because we've got this gateway right here where we were thinking of having the bridge go out and then having a little platform stick off the side to allow for the staircase to go up to there. And on that like island type thing, we're going to have like a wizard's tower type thing, which again brings back that magical element. And the bridge here will probably not be like that one that's like your rope bridge. This will probably be more magical, so maybe quartz or something. And let's see, what else have we got? Well, right here, the one with the ice block, this one's a bit of a problem. Let me show you why. So we've got the spawn-in spot, right? It's 5 blocks by 5 blocks. And any block that you place in here like that, next time someone spawns in here, that gets deleted, basically. So you can't build anything on this platform or above it for, I think it was like 3 or 4 blocks. Anybody who spawns in here, poof, it all gets deleted. And unfortunately, that end gate is centered right on this block. And the staircase design it's kind of circular, but it is essentially a 5 by 5. In order for this to be the center point, 1, 2, 3, I mean, we'd be like right in this area right here. And that's going to be right on top of the obsidian platform, which obviously is not going to work. First time someone would come in here, the staircase is poof, sorry, so long. See you next time. So we're thinking we're going to have 2 circular staircases, or well, not really circular, but like half circles, I guess. It will go up slightly, but it'll curve around like this, and it'll curve around on the other side, and they'll kind of meet in the middle. And then we'll have maybe a small platform or whatever, and then it will go up in the staircase to reach that. Sort of similar to the platform that's going to be on the bridge over there. That will allow us enough height to not have blocks deleted by this, and still look hopefully halfway decent. And it'll kind of be cool because when you spawn in here, hopefully you'll be either looking this way at the entrance to the Ender, or you'll be looking this way, and having a nice arch here with the staircases wrapping on both sides is going to be kind of cool. We will, however, need to make it a little more safe. Because that's quite the drop-off, if you know what I mean. It's a long way down, and there's not much coming out once you're down there. So, that's a lot of work. That is a lot of work. And it is probably going to take us a little while to get this all done. Once we get the roads in, the paths in, once we finish with the water and the rivers and everything, once we put in the staircases, finish terraforming, put in more bridges where bridges need to be put, then we need to do trees, because we don't want just like this flat green mess everywhere. We need to do trees and bushes, maybe points of interest, maybe some ruins, or a temple, or something like that, like an Aztec or Mayan temple, or something like that. Bucket of Block says, I'm so tempted to build a giant platform in the sky, to see if it can suck up some of these spawns. Well, yeah, I know what you mean. He's encountering the horde of Endermen, I take it. We've also got, oh yeah, see, large wooded areas, yep. Temple ruins, yep. Floating islands. I wasn't sure about the floating islands. These are some of the suggestions that we came up with today. I wasn't sure about floating islands. I mean, I personally don't want to be doing any floating islands in the void, if you know what I mean. I did a floating island recently in my Vastin series in the overworld, so it's safe-ish. It still doesn't look all that great, and the thought of doing it, like, in the void or even above the island, yeah, that does not sound like a good time to me. But hey, if anybody else wants to, they are more than welcome. So that's just generally the idea that we've got going on. It's going to be a lot of work, like I said. I don't know how we're at with time, because I know it's been probably taken quite a bit to explain all this to you. So let me take a moment, let me pause my recording and see how long it's been. Yeah, but I'd really like to build a second set of staircases with you guys on camera as much as possible so that you can kind of see how it's put together. So give me a minute and I'll be right back. Alrighty, so let's pop over here. except the weird green one over where the waterfalls meet. Okay. Bob's been working with the terraforming, like I said, and I asked if he was finished with this area. That's why I was thinking of floating islands. Oh, yeah. Yeah, that makes sense. I asked if he was done with this one because it is pretty... It's going to be a really short one. Like, is it even worth... I don't even think we'll do a water elevator for this one. It wouldn't really make sense. But I asked if he was done with it so that we could terraform... Or not terraform, build the platform for this one. So let's see. The center is right here. Cool, right where the stone is. So let's do that. I have several pictures right in front of me. Hopefully I will be able to follow them properly. So let's see. I need this and that. This. Oops, that was more than I actually wanted. Let's get that back. This, and that. Gone. So this. I need 2 slabs, 2 more slabs, 2 more slabs, and a slab. So we'll have to touch up some of the landscaping here. Slab here, and then we need a leaf block. And 1, 2, 3. So the corner bits are basically a 3, 3, and then 1 in the middle here. So it's kind of like a half of a 3x3 block, or a half of a 3x3 square of blocks, I suppose. The platform down here is a little different, just due to the nature of it. Let's use dirt. Oh, am I off center? Oh, silly me. That's the center, like I said. So let's do this just so that we can have something to spiral around. So, yeah, these pictures, I really could have done a better job with placing, or with getting pictures. I have an instant sudden respect for Monroe's work over there with that one. I've got a little stubby staircase, and I'm already having problems. Now let's get rid of this. This was green stained glass panes and lime stained glass blocks. So that's what I've grabbed, a little bit of it. I figured 2 stacks of each should be plenty for such a short stubby thing. So let's do that. It is basically, since I'm not having a water elevator, I can probably kind of make this one different and have the, oops, give me that. Oops, no, not that. I could probably just have this, the idea was that there'd be, full glass blocks here, or glass panes or something like that, to keep the water from flowing out. If we're not going to have a water elevator for such a short little staircase, then there's really no point in having that exception. Hello, Mr. Enderman. Don't mind me. No, I'm not doing anything, I promise. Just don't mind me. No, stop looking at me. Just stop, okay? Let's keep going. Ignore the Enderman. Don't look at the Enderman. Grab that back. Bring this out too. Where do you think I should do the... I mean, it'd be kind of pointless having a water elevator, but then I feel like it'd be a little weird to have some that didn't just because they were shorter, you know? Should I go with a water elevator just to be consistent? Maybe I should. Because the blue of the water does kind of give it an added, I don't know, effect, I suppose. I will have to mull that over. Oh, almost looked at the Enderman. Now, self. Now. Okay, now what do I do at the top? Because this is essentially where you would stand so you could chuck your ender pearl in. Let's see, get a better picture. Do we have one at the top? Well, sort of? Kind of? This is one of our larger platforms, so like that. You know, I think that might be the top right there. I think after that, it's just the void, honestly. Well, I mean, you know, it's the void in my picture, because I had a picture, you know, with a void in the background. This looks pretty good. Then we need, in every single one of these gaps, I need a leaf block, but I don't remember how it's positioned. So, against that slab, it looks like. All the way to the top. I don't think I have one here. Let's see, let's go further down. Okay, we do have some leaves on the top, but we're not to that point yet. I need to put some glass. I need to alternate kind of glass blocks and glass panes all the way around the circumference of the circle, all the way down the staircases. And in the interest of getting the staircase done in the 10 minutes or so that we have, let me go ahead and do that off camera, and I'll be right back. Alrighty, guys. I am back. I had to shift the entire thing about basically just 90 degrees. I didn't realize until after I put in a whole bunch of this that the walkway was sticking out over the edge of the cliff, so I was like, nope, whoops, bad placement. So I tore it all down and have just finished I guess putting it back together. I am now putting in some lighting, because, you know, gotta keep the Enderman from spawning. I have 2 end rods. Basically everywhere where there's a leaf block and then the glass block on top of it, I put 2 end rods, basically facing each other. And that wraps all the way up. As you can, whoops, am I missing? Oh, that's right, this is at the top. And we do something else up here. Now, in the places where, whoops, that scared me. That scared me really bad. In the places where, it's the corner where there's the two glass blocks next to each other, we have 2 end rods. And then 2 end rods up there. And then in the gap, we put the green, or well, not just green, whatever color, but we put the glass panes. So do that here. And here. Oops, that's... Way to go, self. Already making mistakes. Then we need... Alright, this is the entrance, and I believe at the entrance... The glass blocks would be right here and right here, so I think I just have the end rod sticking down like that. That way you can kind of jump in here and not bonk your head, unless you're over where the jump boost is. Right over here we will only close enough to have the speed boost. I think it's inside that beacon right there. These 3 are good to go also. I think he's talking about, yeah, there he is. He's been doing the terraforming over there. It sounds like we're ready to go with more staircase building. So, let's see, any others that I missed going up? We have these, this, and yeah, we've got to figure out these ones that are at the very top. So let me scroll on my pictures on my tablet. What do the tops look like? Okay, so at the very top, right here, we have end rods on these positions. I don't think we use any there, and they are too tall, which means we're going to need a block that we can easily get rid of, like that, and get rid of this and put the end rods. Can I have those back? Awesome. Okay. And actually the same thing here as well. So get rid of that. And here. Alright. And on top of these, oops, wrong button. On top of these, we're going to put jungle leaves. Just like this. I don't think I can do it from right there. Come on. There we go. And I don't know if I can reach that one. Oh, come on, come on. Get back on your glass block. Get it just lined up. There we go. Alright, so glass block. And then on top of every single leaf block. I was going to say on top of every leaf block, but let's hold off on that just for a minute. Because we need to do these sections as well. And that's not going to work. We need those, but we need the end rods to be pointing downward. The this is gonna be tricky. You know, it might be easier if I got on top of the glass blocks and just built them around. Let me get back up there and finish putting in the ring of glass blocks and the end rods and glass panes. Alrighty, so here we are on the top. As you can see, I put in all of the leaf blocks. I feel like I keep calling them glass blocks. I'm such a nerd. I keep on putting, or I've just finished putting in the leaf blocks. I've got the end rods in place. I have glass panes between all the end rods in whatever places I can. Some of them are 3, some of them are 2, and then we've got a couple over here that are 3 glass panes. But that's okay. It's part of the plan. Oh no. Oh no. How do I do this? Alright, where is he? Are you him? Yes, you are. My ledge is activated. Oh, brother. Now I have to get up there all over again. Alright, back up here again. This time we're not going to look at any Enderman. Got it, Self? No Enderman. Okay, so up here at the very, very tippy top, we are going to have, oh, where is it? I need end rods on all 4 of these. And then I need a temporary block on all 4 of these. And then a leaf block on top of the temporary block. And I need one more here, please, and thank you. Actually, let's hop up before we place that one. Okay, and we'll have to put another end rod from the underside. In the direct center, we are going to have a glass pane. It's right there. And then there's going to be a sea lantern right there. I forgot to grab it. I'll have to come back and do that in a minute. And then around the rim, on all of these leaf blocks, we're going to have glass panes of the appropriate color. Unfortunately, in this case, it blends in right with the leaf block. And then every other one is going to be 2 tall. Just like this. All the way around. And then I need to put in the sea lantern. Get rid of that. And the last of these. And then this particular staircase is done. We've got the exit for the water right here. And the entrance is down here. So basically, once the path is finished, you come right up. You can either go up the spiral staircase or you can step in the water. And then step out and continue up. Throw your ender pearl. And when you come back through, you can either take the staircase down or you can just, you know, jump off with a really good ender or elytra jump, I guess, and then flying. You could probably almost reach that over there. Who we got? It's a Gru! It's a Gru sighting! But yeah, so I need to go get that sea lantern and put it into place, and then this one is really done. Now we just have to do it about 18 more times. But I hope you've enjoyed this. I know it's been a very different episode from what we've been doing recently, and I'm totally hoping to come back and give you 5 or 10 minute update, like, not like episodes, but update sequences or clips, I guess, in the course of our building at the base. That way you can stay up to date on both projects at the same time. But I hope you've enjoyed it, and I hope you keep coming back for more. But until next time, I hope you have a fantastic time. Hi, Gru, and I'll see you later. Bye!